I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, because now I wanna think what next.
Right, that would, you know, garner him, you know, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now it's just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay?
It's just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Oleksandr Usyk shared his thoughts on Moses Itauma's bold call-out after his knockout win. Usyk acknowledged the young heavyweight's talent, but emphasized that he wants to take a break before deciding his next move. He said he will carefully consider whether to face Itauma or choose another opponent.
I am with him right now. He's speaking with Joseph Parker.
This time I wanna rest.
You want to rest?
Yeah, I wanna rest.
Holiday. Congratulations, champ. You were absolutely incredible tonight. Did you enjoy that performance?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Listen, I'm very happy. I train hard. 3.5 months. I not look my family, my children. Now I'm a little bit tired, you know. I wanna home.
You're going to rest now. There's already a tweet gone out from you saying, maybe I fight Moses Itauma as well. Is that true?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know, because now I wanna think what next. What next? Who my next opponent? Because now I have time and think about my career and the next fight.
You're loved in Ukraine, but I really do think you are loved by us here as well, and it showed tonight.
Thank you so much. I love UK people, because it's a special fans, you know.
And you know, the final thing, people are now going to start talking about you as one of the greatest of all time. Does that mean something to you, to be one of the very greatest fighters and heavyweights of all time?
Thank you so much, bro.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Anthony Pretty Boy Taylor tweeted, White took a __ dive. You can't convince me that that kid can beat Usyk. His comment sparked debate, as fans questioned whether Moses Itauma's victory over Dillian Whyte was genuine dominance. Taylor's remark reflects doubt about Itauma's ability to compete with elite champions like Oleksandr Usyk. Promoter Turki Alalshik has expressed interest in a clash between Usyk and Itauma, framing it as the ultimate test between experience and youth. Usyk represents years of skill, experience, and championship pedigree, while Itauma embodies hunger, strength, and ambition. Fans are excited to see if youthful energy can overcome wisdom and mastery in the ring.
Turki Alalshik is demanding the Moses Itauma versus Oleksandr Usyk fight. That's the fight that he would like to make happen, as you guys just read in the caption. And let me counterpunch. I mean, that sounds good. You know, I think that Turki is looking for someone to beat Usyk. And Moses' name is just the next name up, especially in his own personal interest. It's not Joseph Parker. I don't know what's the deal with Parker. I don't know why he doesn't like Parker. I mean, Parker, to me, is more like a Jon Snow, because, I mean, he gets in battles and he gets scrapes and bleeds and abrasions and battle scars, but he ends up victorious at the end of the day, right? So that's what Joseph Parker reminds me of. But I think that it should be in order. It should be in order to fight. I don't think that a guy with 13 fights is or should be awarded that type of fight. Now, if the fight happened, it would be pretty good. Southpaw versus Southpaw, old lion versus, young lion. And I know Moses would jump on the opportunity if getting it, and he may get it. Depends on how bad does Turki want it, because if Turki really wants this fight, if he really, really wanted that fight, he's going to offer enough money for Usyk to go in there, because I think it's about Usyk, not Moses. You know what I mean? And also, something else you have to factor in is it's not all about what Turki wants. It's also, and it should be, about what the sanctioning bodies demand.
Moses Itauma has not shied away from confidence, claiming his skill set is superior to Usyk's. This statement has sparked debate, as Usyk is widely regarded as one of the most complete fighters of his era. Known for his movement, sharp combinations, and ability to adapt, Usyk presents a tough challenge. At just 20 years old, Itauma believes his speed, power, and composure can rival even a champion like Usyk. While some dismiss his claims as overconfidence, others see a fearless new generation ready to challenge legends.
You must have a view of what level you're at now.
If you want my honest opinion, I think
do.
if my skill set, if you're talking about my ring IQ and what I display in the ring, I feel like I am the best in the world, but I haven't displayed the later rounds. That's all what I kind of want to get ticked off. So my next opponent or opponents this year, we're just looking at fights to kind of get me into that later round, because I feel like with Usyk, I feel like I've got a better skill set than him, but I feel like towards the later rounds, he'll just outdo me, because I've never been in that sort of fight.
Many boxing analysts have expressed reservations about pushing Moses Itauma directly into a fight with Usyk. Their main argument is that Usyk is a master of the sport who has faced every style imaginable and proven himself against the world's best heavyweights. In contrast, Moses is just starting his professional career and lacks the experience required for such a high-stakes matchup.
Itauma can fight and beat the likes of Oleksandr Usyk, which everybody, His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh, is stating that he would love to make a fight with Usyk and Moses Itauma. That's the fight to be made. Me personally, I think it's too early in his career. At 20 years old, Usyk knows all the tricks of the trade. Usyk is very athletic. Okay, he's a southpaw. He's slick. He knows how to buy time. He knows how to control distance and range. He has an extremely high ring IQ. I think that's a step too far for Moses Itauma right now, right? But this is what Turkey want to see, and obviously Moses has a puncher's chance. Okay, he has a puncher's chance to land a big punch on Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. So Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance.
Analysts highlight that Moses' most notable victory came against Dillian Whyte, who was inactive and past his prime at the time. While it was an impressive performance, one win against a declining veteran does not justify an immediate fight with a generational talent like Usyk. They suggest Moses first test himself against fighters closer to his age and level of experience, such as Joseph Parker or other active contenders.
Oleksandr Usyk, he's bigger than him. Usyk is 6'3" with a 78-inch arm reach. So Moses is bigger than him, right? And he obviously has a puncher's chance. But with that said, I just think that, that's a step too far. There's other names that I could see Moses Itauma fight. Fight the likes of Joseph Parker, right? Big Zhang, okay? There's names out there that he can fight, right? That would, garner him, and get him the experience he needs to compete with a Usyk, right? But right now is just not the time. I just think it's just too early, okay? I think that, we need to allow this young man to grow, right? And then, we talk about Usyk. The problem is Usyk is 39, 40 years of age.
Trainer Ben Davidson sees the potential fight as a unique opportunity for both men. He notes that Usyk has never faced Moses, and vice versa, making the matchup intriguing. While Usyk is undeniably experienced, he has yet to face a young heavyweight with Moses' speed, power, and fearlessness. Davidson believes such a fight would test Moses and might also challenge Usyk in new ways, as every fighter eventually faces unfamiliar obstacles.
I'm sure you would have seen that Ring Magazine have put out a tweet tonight or an Instagram post saying that they've been informed that Turkey wants to see Usyk and Moses next. What do you think about that?
Let's see. He's just had a big fight. I think,
Is he ready for that in your opinion? Just your opinion. Is he ready for...
I think it's one of them fights where it's a win-win. The experience he'd gain from it, the opportunity to really, if Usyk was to box Dillian Whyte, people wouldn't say it would be a one-round job before tonight had happened. And I think, what he'd learned from it, the opportunity. And as much as Moses hasn't been in there with somebody like Usyk hasn't been in there with someone like Moses either.
Derek Chisora
has advised Moses Itauma to avoid pursuing a fight with Usyk at this stage. Chisora believes Moses is too young and that chasing inactive or aging legends may not be the best career move. Drawing from his own experience with top-tier opponents, he stresses that Moses should focus on active contenders closer to his stage of development. While facing inactive legends might gain attention, it won't provide the experience necessary for long-term success.
Interview is going to go out after the fight. So let's say Dillian does get the win. Who do you want to see him with next?
Don't know. If Dillian wins it, I'll be taking out.
And what about Moses? What next for him? Is it Oleksandr Usyk?
Huh?
If Moses gets the win, what next? Is it Oleksandr Usyk or is that too soon?
To leave Usyk alone. Usyk's a beast, man. Different beast. Different beast.
Derek, what next for you? When are we going to see you next in the ring?
Right now I'm going to go sit down on the ringside and enjoy the fight.
Joseph Parker offers a balanced perspective, acknowledging that a fight between Usyk and Moses Itauma is possible but depends on Usyk's timeline and decisions. As a reigning champion, Usyk has the right to choose his next opponent. Parker emphasizes that negotiations will only proceed if Usyk is willing, stressing the importance of careful consideration regarding timing and circumstances.
I am with Joseph Parker. Yeah, what did you make of that, Joseph?
Explosive and quick, faster than a lot of people thought. We thought it was going to be 3-4 rounds, and if it gets past that, it'll be a bit harder fight. But you know, one round, every fighter wants to come out and be explosive and knock out their opponent and go home and chill.
It's silly of me to say, do you want Moses next? Because really, you want Oleksandr Usyk, don't you?
Yeah, I want Usyk next. I know Usyk's deserves his time to relax and chill with his family. When he's ready, I'd love to open up negotiations and see if we can make the fight happen.
Does that extension clause with the sanctioning body give you more hope that it may well happen?
You just don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen. There's an extension to buy more time to an injury, and hopefully, you know, when he does decide to come back, then we can negotiate, and if we can make it happen, it'll be awesome.
Listen, we love you, and you're all about you, and we want you to be a world champion again, and I think you will be. But just say a final word on what we've witnessed tonight in a 20-year-old who may be the coming force eventually.
Listen, he did a tremendous job. I was just watching it now. I don't really see it properly, but he, power.
Promoter Frank Warren has expressed enthusiasm for a potential Usyk versus Moses fight, but remains cautious. He notes that Turki Alalshik, who organizes major boxing events in Saudi Arabia, may facilitate the matchup. However, Warren stresses that nothing is currently planned, and decisions require input from all stakeholders: Usyk's team, Moses' team, and the event organizers. He advocates ensuring the timing and conditions are right before moving forward.
An exclusive for you is that the WBO about a month ago put out that Joe Parker, who's their interim champion, has to challenge against Usyk, and Usyk has to defend against him. He's put a letter into yesterday stating, so I found out today, stating that he's asked him for an extension period because he's injured before being ordered to do anything. But whatever happens, the fact of life is that Joe Parker will either fight as champion if Usyk vacates the title, or he will fight Usyk for the title. So it's exciting times. If Moses were to win, or even if Dillian wins, whoever wins that fight, they're in the one spot. And if the fight doesn't happen with Usyk and Joe, then Joe will have to fight the official #1 contender.
Gosh, so that should be really fascinating, shouldn't it? Thank you for that little bit of exclusive there. So are you just telling us there in that exclusive that Usyk's got an injury at the moment then? That's what he's coping with at the moment?
His camp have written to asked him for a period of time to before they have to defend.
Eddie Hearn praised Moses Itauma's performance while sympathizing with Dillian Whyte, who suffered a surprising knockout. Hearn acknowledges Whyte earned a solid payday but notes the outcome was unexpected. For Moses, the victory is career-changing, but Hearn believes it should serve as a stepping stone rather than an immediate launchpad to face Usyk.
Tonight, you don't seem as impressed or sad?
No, of course impressed. Very impressed, but it's just a bit sad for Dillian. Like, he shouldn't really have been in there, if I'm honest. But what? You know that. You know that.
Lee, what you've got to say?
That's not what I said first.
No.
No. Special kid, Moses.
Of course he is, but I don't think, like, that was the worst matchup for him with no activity, and I felt like that was always going to happen.
Dillian Whyte's career, that would have looked similar to that stylistically.
He's brilliant. But I found it, knowing Dillian and everything, at 38 years old, I found it quite hard to watch.
I just have to ask, whilst he's there, the Warrington fight, are we going to see that next?
Yeah, we love the fight. I mean, the problem is with Lee Wood, fuck me, I gave him some money. Jesus Christ. And now, obviously, every fight has its value, I always say. And that's a big value fight. It's a great fight for both. Listen, it's the final roll of the dice for both. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I'll be interested to see how it plays out. We're definitely interested in making it happen.
TalkSport analysts have debated Moses' next steps. They agree that while a fight with Usyk would be massive, it may be wiser to first face Joseph Parker or other established heavyweights. The analysts argue that the win over Dillian Whyte, though impressive, does not provide enough evidence of how Moses would fare against a living legend like Usyk.
We go with him now. It wouldn't surprise me if they put him in a world title fight in 2 fights' time.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what Oleksandr Usyk's been given this extension with the WBO title. Joseph Parker obviously is the interim champion. Parker may take another route. He's very well ranked in the WBC as well. You don't know, of all these moving parts. And like you say, the main man, Turki Al-Sheikh, the guy that puts the money up, he will decide what he wants to do there. But if that WBO title becomes vacant, don't be surprised that you do not see Joseph Parker fighting for that title, but you see a vacant title going in with Moses Itauma versus Filip Hrgovic. That's the fight I could see for the vacant title.
For all the patience that Moses showed tonight, for all the precision he showed to put Dillian Whyte away, we still don't know what's going to happen when he's in the trenches, do we?
It's always the case, isn't it? Whenever you get a fantastic young talent coming through. I remember they said it's about Naz all those years
ago.
Bruno, the list goes on. It's a long one. And there will be somebody somewhere who can take the shots and who will put it on him. And then the questions will be asked, and it's whether or not he's got the answers. There'll be people out there. Somebody will do it.
Despite doubts and debate, one thing is clear. Moses Itauma has shown extraordinary promise for someone so young. His victory over Dillian Whyte was notable not just for the knockout, but for the skill, composure, and timing he displayed. At only 20 years old, Moses has already generated significant buzz, earning praise for his talent and confidence. Whether he faces Usyk soon or takes a slower path, Moses Itauma has announced himself as a rising force in the heavyweight division.
In the world. Oh my goodness. I mean, let's be honest. We all expected Moses to win, but not in 2 minutes. The man annihilated Dillian Whyte in 2 minutes, and the man, listen. Let me give you the truth about Moses Itauma. This is the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Speed kills. And Moses Itauma is one of the fastest heavyweights I have ever seen in my life. Is he faster than Mike Tyson? Of course not. But for this generation and this era, he is the fastest and youngest heavyweight that we have in our generation. Now Moses Itauma, oh my God, southpaw, deadly puncher, lightning quick, intelligent, smart, cerebral at just 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen. That is crazy. And even if you think about it, the man has been dangerous. He just knocked out Dillian Whyte a few minutes ago.
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates and expert analysis from the world of boxing.